piece of interesting news showed up from more toy reveals. Um, the Bumblebee movie, or Bumblebee the Movie toy line, has a subline of figures called Transformers Bumblebee Energon Igniters. And we've kind of known about this toy line and different releases that have been coming up. And apparently these Igniters, they have like different even sub-series within it. They have the Speed series and the Power series and all of this. But what's interesting about it is it gives us a little doorway into what could be. What could be. We're not sure yet, but what could be other characters that will be appearing in the Bumblebee movie in some shape or form. Now, this might be spoilers for some people, so if you don't want to hear more about this, just don't listen to this segment. But for those who do, we'll move ahead essentially. So it seems that there's a couple of listings, and two of them that catches people's eyes, aside from the Bumblebee Power Igniter Power Series Bumblebee and the Speed Series Barricade, which are two characters we kind of knew that were going to be in the movie, obviously. They have a Power Series Autobot Hot Rod. So, and it's funny because this is kind of related to, it almost is similar to what I was talking about when we did our review of The Last Night a while back, where when we were first trying to figure out what the Bumblebee movie might be about, and I was saying, well, it might be about the whole Nazi bashing Bumblebee, where him and Hot Rod go on their adventures, because it seems like those two worked together at some point. So I think what this could be, and again, I could totally be wrong, and this might be just a toy-only kind of thing, but what this might be one way that we're getting that pre-Hot Rod kind of movie figure.
Yeah.
Because Hot Rod
I see what you mean. Yeah, the Citroën that he was.
Either that. That's what I was thinking. It could be either that the classic car that, for what people understand what Wendell was saying, the classic car that he picked up Vivian in initially before he got the Lambo body, or alternatively, because it's part of the it's from the Transformers Bumblebee Energon Igniters Power series as opposed to Speed series. Power series, maybe, just maybe, I might be reading too much into this, but maybe it might be the tank that he kind of turned into, or whatever, the armored car that he turned into when he was fighting the Nazis. It could be one or the other. That's one listing. So this could confirm that he is either in the Bumblebee movie or he'll be making a cameo in the Bumblebee movie. He might be only been in like a flashback scene. You never know. But it means that there's a possibility of that. Another one that was listed, and this was discovered just recently, was Transformers Bumblebee Energon Igniters Power Series Megatron. Now, this one, it makes us go, well, what was Megatron's status really? Crashes on Earth, frozen, and then is a popsicle literally until the 2007 first movie.
Yeah.
So what could this be? Could this be a gimmick toy that's based off of a cameo in the movie? Because from what I've read online, and again, that's why I prefaced with spoilers here, from what I've read online, some early final scripts have started surfacing, and while people haven't really read the whole scripts completely, they've kind of like, just went through it quickly and then kind of read the end. And one of the ending things is Bumblebee scanning that old Camaro that he turns into. So that means that at some point I feel there might be a crossover with just what's Megatron's status during that movie, which of course was being on ice with Sector 7.
Right.
So maybe they might do a toy that throws back to that old, Cybertronian jet Megatron from the 2007 movie. This Igniter series, it doesn't tell us too much. Like the product descriptions, to give you an example, because these are all UPC things and they give product descriptions. So to give you an example, the Hot Rod one says, Autobot Hot Rod is a quick to ignite with his engine into high gear, a brash warrior. He's always ready to charge into the next Decepticon showdown along with his fellow Autobots. 5-inch figure, which features classic Transformers conversion, converts from robot to sports car. Oh, so that right away tells us at least, that it's probably not that tank thing then. So it's probably going to be maybe that Citroën, maybe the Lambo. Again, it's hard to say right now.
Because I
Or it
mean, if
might
it's
just
taking in place in the past, I don't see it being a Lambo unless it's an older Lambo.
well,
You know,
again,
but I could
the
see it
way
being a
that
Citroen, and if they have to like fight in
there's
occupied France, you know what I mean? It would make more sense.
well, there's one of two ways this is handled. Either number one, this is him being in the movie, and it would be that old car, or alternatively, it's just an excuse to make a hot rod toy, and he's just included in the toy line,
Because it seems like within the
and he turns
movies,
into a Lambo.
because it seems like within the movies, they could just scan whoever and whenever. You know what I mean?
Well, and
Or at least they changed into that, so it makes sense that Hot Rod kind of like, oh, I need to like lay low for a long time. Bumblebee
well,
is like, I
and
need to lay low for a while. So
to like play devil's advocate on the thing where if he's not in the like if this is not a movie toy like indication, meaning like it's not something that proves that he's in the movie, it wouldn't be the first time we've encountered this.
right.
We've had Dark of the Moon toys that had jazz, we've had I'm just looking at my toy lines here. Like there was a lot of times where we had characters that were either dead or not present in the movies, but yet they had toys in those specific lines. Like Jazz was dead since 2007,
Quick,
but he had a Cybertron glyph, hieroglyph repaint. I think it was a Target exclusive repaint for the Dark of the Moon line. That was a deluxe. There was a lot of like movie toys that get released in different iterations, and it doesn't indicate anything. I mean, otherwise we would have looked at what?
A quick question though.
Sure.
I'm noticing it says Autobot Hot Rod. Was Hot Rod's name that last movie? When for all the
Packaging?
all the packaging, did it say Hot Rod Autobot or just said Hot Rod?
For the funny thing is for the Transformer toys themselves, and this is what was really interesting, was all the transforming Hasbro figures, it said Autobot Hot Rod. For anything that was like die-cast, like to give you an example, the die-cast, figure line, which was done by Jada Toys, which is a die-cast line, it just said Hot Rod. And I find that fascinating because for the longest time, the reason why we couldn't use the name Hot Rod was because of Hot Wheels. And I mean, there's all kinds of loopholes and everything when it comes to trademarking a name and everything. But it's funny how the die-cast version could be called Hot Rod and not have to worry about a trademark.
Maybe because it's an actual toy car. So
yeah, I guess so.
Like that was the loophole, probably.
That's probably it. And for people that don't understand what I'm talking about, it's the die-cast series that has the design of the robot on the underside that's similar to the RPMs. They do them in 3 different scales. They do them in 1x32, 1x64, and I think there's one other scale also, to my knowledge. I'm trying to see from here from my shelving. I can't see the exact number, but yeah. So this could be an indication of other characters in the movie. The movie is still we're still like a good couple of months away from it. It's going to be in December, so we don't really have much of an indication of who's in the movie outside of 100% it's going to have Bumblebee, and now the early trickles of a Barricade. But now it looks like it could not be Hot Rod and Megatron. We'll take this with a grain of salt for now. We're looking really into it, but I mean, it's not the first time a movie line has had toys that had nothing to do with how those characters are depicted. The best example of that, I always say, is characters like Long Arm, which were a tow truck that pulled around Bumblebee at the end of the first movie that Michaela was using. She hooked them up. That was a transforming toy, but in the movie it was just a tow truck. Or at the beginning of Revenge of the Fallen, Optimus Prime came out of a giant, cargo plane, and that was an actual transforming toy. Really good toy too. But in the movie it's just a cargo plane, we're assuming. So like there's not much we could look into right now. This could be appearance spoilers, or this could be just fill-ins for the toy line. So we'll take it with a grain of salt for now.